Gone to the Night Part 3. To this day, police still refuse to follow up on any leads in the Jaclyn Dowaliby case. And what's sad is they had a very strong lead back in 1988. So Jaclyn's father was in prison when she went missing. But her father's family would sometimes visit her, come to her house, or she would go to her grandmother's house. And her uncle, her father's brother, lived at her grandmother's house. One time police questioned her uncle. He told them that he had an alibi for the night she went missing. Her uncle told the police that he was at a local bar all night until about 6 o'clock the next morning, and that the bar owner and several customers would vouch for him, that they would give him an alibi for the night she went missing and the night her body was left at the dump site. When police questioned the bar owner, he gave the same story. So the police just left it at that. His mother, Jaclyn's grandmother, also vouched for him, claiming he'd never been to Jaclyn's new house before, so there's no way he kidnapped her. He doesn't even know where she lives. But that was all a lie. Jaclyn's own grandmother lied to police for her son, because Jaclyn's uncle and grandmother had been to her house several times to visit with her, and Cynthia had proof. David's mother, Jaclyn's little brother, and several neighbors all said they had seen her uncle and grandmother at their house before. So of course her uncle knew where she lived. So after Cynthia found out that her daughter's grandmother lied for her uncle, she started investigating. Her legal team went to that bar. They found several customers who admitted they lied to police for Jaclyn's uncle. This man did not have an alibi for either night. And they ran into a barfly who had a very creepy story. This woman claimed that she often brought her little girl to this bar to eat. And Jaclyn's uncle was always staring and trying to touch her daughter. And that one day, Jaclyn's uncle sat down beside her little girl. He told this woman he had to make a sacrifice, and it had to be a little girl because they were innocent and pure. And then he inappropriately touched her daughter and himself while sitting across from her at the same table. This woman snatched her daughter up and told him to stay away from them. This barfly was a mother, and she said she didn't come forward sooner because she was afraid of Jaclyn's uncle. He was scary, and she was afraid that he would hurt her daughter too. That happened just a few days before Jaclyn went missing. After Jaclyn was found, he was going around the bar telling people he had made a sacrifice, that it was a fight between good and evil. So the police had at least 6 or 7 witnesses who said Jaclyn's uncle did not have an alibi for either night. They found out that the bar owner lied to police. He said he did it to protect Jaclyn's uncle because he thought of him as a son. So her uncle's alibis were blown out the water. Allegedly, an investigator has a recording of her uncle confessing to the murder, claiming he did it for the greater good. And the police know this. They still have not followed any leads in this case. This police department has never properly investigated her case. They got tunnel vision and they went on a witch hunt for David. But if you look up the case now, it's a cold case. That same police department, to this day, refuses to open Jaclyn's case, maybe out of embarrassment. It makes no sense why they never investigated Jaclyn's uncle. All the evidence pointed towards him, and he walked free.